Humans love really big things. Think about the ancient pyramids or those massive, shiny skyscrapers. Big means we have ambition. Big also means we have power. It's just incredibly cool, isn't it, making massive machines fly? That is something truly special. It almost defies all logic. Many people said it's impossible, but clever engineers, bless them, they just don't ever listen. They sketch ideas on paper. They build with metal and hope. They make giants take to air. A truly giant aeroplane is special. It is much more than just metal. It is a very bold statement. It shouts, "Look what we can do!" Little kids will point and shout. Adults just stand and stare, amazed. Everyone is properly impressed by it. This isn't only about aircraft. It's about the human spirit, really, pushing all the known boundaries, reaching for what seems impossible. So let's discuss the biggest one, the absolute undisputed champion. Its name was Antonov An-225 Mriya. It sounds quite good, doesn't it? Mriya actually means dream. It was a massive Soviet dream, a dream constructed from metal, and an absolutely enormous amount of it. This giant was born in the 1980s. These were tense Cold War times. The political situation was frosty. The Soviets had their own space shuttle. This shuttle was called the Buran. They needed a taxi for this shuttle, a really, really enormous sky taxi. So they went and built the Mriya, not for carrying ordinary passengers, not for your summer holiday flights. It was built for outer space missions. The Antonov Design Bureau got the job. These chaps knew how to build big. They had built huge planes before, but this particular project was different. This was going to be a monster. Only one was ever fully completed. Just one of these flying giants. Imagine getting that design brief. The dream began to take solid shape. Right then, let's talk numbers. The Mriya was properly enormous. Its wingspan was 88.4 meters wide. That is nearly a whole football pitch. Imagine an aeroplane, if you will, with wings as wide as Wembley, actually flying high above you. The Mriya was 84 meters long. That's longer than a blue whale. And it stood 18.1 meters tall. That is like a six-story building. And it had lots of engines. So many powerful jet engines. You could park many London buses under it. Its maximum takeoff weight, a staggering 640 tons. 640 metric tons. That is like 10 Chieftain battle tanks, or well over 100 elephants, all of that weight flying in the air. When this giant plane landed, people noticed. You really could not miss it. It absolutely dwarfed everything else. All other jets at the airport, they looked like tiny, dinky toys. It was the undisputed king of size. This machine wasn't just big, it was also incredibly clever. You don't make something this huge fly without some serious top-notch brainpower. The Soviet engineers knew their stuff. This was a proper engineering challenge. Not just a simple case of make it bigger. It had 6 enormous engines. Yes, you heard that right. 6 Lotarev D18T high-bypass turbofans. Each one produced immense thrust. They needed all of that power to lift its own massive weight, to lift its even more massive cargo, to climb steadily up into the sky. The noise must have been biblical. Then there was its unusual tail. It didn't have one central vertical fin. Instead, it had 2 of them, located at the ends of the tailplane, to keep the aircraft incredibly stable, especially with a huge shuttle on its back. The clever twin tails sorted it all out, and consider the complex landing gear. It had so many wheels underneath. 32 wheels in total, actually. The nose gear could even kneel down. Truly amazing engineering on display there. Section 5. The Mriya's 9 to 5 hauling the unhaulable. So, what did this airborne giant do? What was its main purpose in life? It was built to carry the Buran. That was the Soviet space shuttle. The Soviets wanted their own shuttle system. The Mriya was absolutely key to this plan. It would fly the shuttle from factories all the way to the Baikonur launch site, but then the Soviet Union collapsed. The ambitious Buran program was cancelled. So, what would happen to the Mriya? For a while it just sat quietly, a massive giant without any job. It was quite a sad sight, really. Then, it found a brand new life. A new purpose rose from the ashes. It became a super heavy cargo plane, the biggest cargo plane in the world. If you had something truly enormous to move, you picked up the phone and called Mriya. It became a commercial cargo hero, ready to solve impossible logistics problems. It carried all sorts of massive things, huge electrical generators, for example, long wind turbine blades for green energy, heavy industrial machinery and parts, even urgent emergency aid supplies. It was the ultimate delivery van. Section 6, King of the Cargo Hold, dwarfing the competition. Now, there are other big planes. Of course there are. I know, you might be thinking of them now. The famous Boeing 747, for instance. Often called the Queen of the Skies, a brilliant and iconic machine, no doubt. Truly a legend in its own right. But when parked next to the Maria, the 747 looked, well, a bit normal. Almost compact, if I'm honest. Sorry, Boeing, but it's just true. Then there is the Airbus A380. That massive double-decker super jumbo. It carries lots and lots of people. Very comfortable for passengers, I'm sure. A definite marvel of modern aviation. But was it actually bigger than Maria? Nope. Not in overall wingspan, not in its impressive total length, and certainly not in cargo capacity. The Maria still reigned supreme there. It was the undisputed heavyweight champion. Some people might mention Howard Hughes and his famous Spruce Goose, the H-4. That wooden giant had a huge wingspan, but importantly, it only flew once. For about a mile, then it landed. The Maria was a proper working beast. Section 7, forging a Titan tales of steel and sweat. Building the mighty Maria was huge. It was a truly massive undertaking. Just stop and think about it. The sheer mind-boggling scale involved. It all happened in Kyiv, Ukraine, at the famous Antonov aircraft plant. Thousands of skilled people were involved, clever designers and brilliant engineers. Hard-working metal workers and diligent riveters. It was a major national effort, a great source of immense pride. They actually started with the An-124 Ruslan. That itself was already a huge plane. They stretched its existing fuselage. They added completely new wing sections. They slapped on 2 extra jet engines, and they completely redesigned the tail. Sounds simple when I say it, right? Not really. It was incredibly complex. A true, undeniable feat of engineering, a testament to human ingenuity. Construction was surprisingly quick for it. From the design approval to first flight, it took about 3.5 years. That is remarkably fast by any standard. They must have worked day and night, driven by the pressures of the space race, but they managed to pull it off. Section 8, a sky legend signs off Maria's enduring impact. The Maria was so much more than just a very big plane. It was a powerful global symbol, a symbol of what humans can achieve. When they dare to dream really big, when they all work closely together, it inspired pure awe wherever it flew. People would flock to all airports just to catch a fleeting glimpse. It was a true aviation superstar, a celebrity with wings and engines. For more than 30 glorious years it served. First for the Soviet space program, then it served the entire world, carrying utterly impossible, massive loads, helping out in difficult times of need. It was a truly magnificent machine, absolutely unique in every single way, completely irreplaceable, sadly for us. A true, undisputed legend of the skies. Its radio call sign was often Cossack, a fitting name for such a warrior. Then in February of 2022, tragedy. During the conflict raging in Ukraine, the Maria was based at Hostomel Airport. It was attacked and severely damaged.